Thank you. And unless I'm mistaken, that is theme from an imaginary.
Theme for an imaginary weapon, yeah.
From Songs for Taylor.
That's it, yeah.
Now, you wrote that with Pete Brown.
Pete Brown, yeah.
And it's not known to many people. You're well renowned as a bass player and to a lesser extent as a singer, but you're not really known as a writer. And does that disappoint you at all?
In a way, yeah. But what can you do about it?
Because you and Pete go back along. You must have been writing for what, 15 years?
Yeah, we started with the Cream, and we still work together occasionally. Yeah.
But you're really not known for that. You're really known as this wonderful bass player that you.
Yeah, I don't know why, but look, what can you do?
Do you ever write? Do you and Pete ever do things for anyone else? Because it seems if your notoriety isn't, isn't well known, it's.
Not so. I mean, Pete writes with a lot, for a lot of other people. I don't tend to do that so much. No, just I can't. I can only write my own stuff.
Well, you can't. You don't feel you can write songs which other people perform.
Well, if they happen to, but I haven't been able to do that. Really,
I think one of the drawbacks probably is the vocal range. I don't know that your average pop singer could handle that. When you started playing and stuff, you were really involved in jazz and blues to begin with, and you've said that you did it really for enjoyment more than anything else.
What was that? Did what?
To be a musician. Oh, thanks very much.
Sorry.
I thought we weren't going to have any difficult interviews tonight.
No, it's all right. Still trying to remember the words of that song. It's all right.
Do you feel that the enjoyment's gone out of it out of the business now? It's a much bigger business than the one that you.
Well, when it comes down to actually just playing on a stage, that's great fun. All the other bit, is not so much fun because it's more of a business, like you say. But still, if you're lucky enough to get on a stage and play, that's still the best.
But you were one of the guys that was responsible for making it a big business, weren't you?
Well, I didn't mean it. So.
You didn't mean it, mister?
No, it wasn't me.
That was you.
It was me.
I saw you. Well,
no, I was the other guys. I'm other guys.
Yeah. The other Jack Bruce.
Yes.
There's only one of you.
Yeah.
No, that was one of the regrets of my life. It was you. You played.
It was the underground. I don't know. Something happened. It stopped being the underground, didn't it? Well, was that right? It seemed like that way to me. But
in what way it stopped being the underground?
Well, you said that. I didn't say that.
It is going to be a difficult one. No, you and Cream, especially in America, were one of the first groups to play stadiums and all of that kind of thing. And you really fueled that thing of making it into.
Yeah, and then we split up, didn't we?
And left all the other wallies like me to pick it up afterwards and not understand it. I mean, you did start out playing. Cream played dance halls when they started out, and they got carried forward on this.
Well, I mean, we played a lot of clubs and the usual stuff, but it was only really towards the end that we did those big things. Yeah, I think that was part of the reason why it finished, because some of us didn't really, fancy that as much as others of us fancied it.
Right, we won't go into
anyway, that's a while ago.
And have you gone out of? It seems like in some ways you're going out of your way, and after Cream to be uncommercial in a way to.
I suppose I was self-indulgent would be
rather than
the word, wouldn't it? Yeah, I just wanted to try and sort of follow my own ideas, really. See if it would get anywhere. It didn't happen to get anywhere, but
not commercially. I mean, people, but musically it did because.
Yeah, I suppose that's what I was trying to do.
The band,
I'm trying to do.
Lifetime was in many ways was a forerunner to what was to come later with Weather Report.
Yeah, that was a great band. Good band.
And you regretted the passing of that. What were any of the other groups you've been in?
What, that I regretted? Well, no, I'd like to move on. That's what I like to do, if I can. But that band I did regret that it didn't sort of get a little bit more attention. Maybe. I think it was ahead of its time. That was a problem.
Well, it's a very inventive group, and I wonder sometimes if. I mean, I'm a great believer in the general public, but I wonder if sometimes if they appreciate how technically, clever a band like that is.
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much the cleverness with that band, it was the intensity. It was, I think, the most intense group that I've played with. And I think the reason why the technology hadn't sort of caught up with the music yet, it was still trying to get sound. I think that was something.
So it's more of an emotional thing for you?
Yeah, I think it was a very emotional band, although it was a lot of chops involved and everything. That wasn't the important thing. It was.
Would you, point of info, could you explain chops?
So you put them in a pan and fry them.
The other kind of chops.
Yeah, sort of how
technical.
fast and stuff you can play, I suppose, is it? Yeah, that sort of thing.
And it was that, with that kind of band, I mean, everybody was very capable musician. And it seems like when I go to see a band like that, I mean, I went one night to see the new King Crimson incarnation with Tony Levin and Adrian Belew, and it seems like people, even after all these years of seeing quite clever rock music, still all clap in the wrong place. You know, I mean, everyone always claps the fast and high bits.
Yeah.
Rather than, especially bass playing, where like you might be playing someone really clever and people.
Yeah, but I've never really been a technical bass player, I don't think. Anyway, not really. I just sort of played lead bass, you know.
Did you ever play in a group where you were the guitar player?
Well, yeah, I had a 6-string bass, and I used to sort of occasionally do solos.
Because it was always like the guy who couldn't play, that wasn't the best lead guitar player to come. Was that what happened to you?
No, not really. No, I sort of came the other
Because
way.
we could have talked him.
Yeah, we could. Yeah. I mean, it could have been that way, but I see I can't play the guitar at all. So
you can't.
No.
You just started it as a cello player.
Bass and cello. Yeah.
And the bass guitar, you think it's a more important instrument now? There's
some great players around now. You know, I think there wasn't so many great players around, say in the 60s. I think there's a few now. Yeah.
Like whom? Who are you?
Oh, there's tons. You know, hundreds.
Name anybody?
Millions.
Go on.
Well, you named them.
Name
Jaco Pastorius and Stanley. You know, but there's lots of good people.
Yeah, because bass players used to be like goalies. It was always like the guy who couldn't play.
That's right.
Couldn't play centre forward, get moved to the back of the team.
I think it's become for musicians more of an interesting kind of a thing to do. Play bass. But playing bass and singing is interesting anyway, because you're doing the top and the bottom.
And extremely difficult.
It's not.
So what happens now for Jack Bruce? What is he?
Well, right now I'm writing some stuff with Keith Emerson and just sort of carrying on.
Making another album? Are you making an album with Keith? Or?
Yeah, hopefully we're just seeing what's going to happen, you know.
Emerson, Bruce and... Anybody? I feel it has a certain ring about it. I just can't think of another
very good
name to finish it up. We'll think of somebody, and I'm sure you will. And I'm sure you'll all like to thank Jack for coming along tonight.
Thank you.